Acute care and long-term care health facilities are actively seeking ways to reduce the number of facility-acquired pressure ulcers. Not only is there the strive for clinical benefit, but changes in Medicaid reimbursement policies are driving innovations in clinical practices and materials that help promote better skin health. According to the National Pressure Ulcer Advisory Panel, the prevalence of facility-acquired pressure ulcers can be as much as 18% in acute care settings and as high as 28% in long-term care facility. What's more, the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services have estimated that the cost per patient is close to $43,000 to remediate these conditions once they develop. Healthcare practitioners have long known that skin health protocol for limited mobility patients requires effective moisture management. This not only improves the patient's comfort, but significantly reduces the risk of pressure ulcer formation. A recent clinical study was conducted at Cone Health in Greensboro, North Carolina, that showed that moisture-wicking linens can in fact have a significant positive impact on clinical outcomes when used in conjunction with traditional skin health protocols. Moisture wicking science. For reusable textile materials to wick moisture, they must have certain characteristics. First, they must have hydrophilic or water-loving fiber surfaces. That allows the fiber surface to attract the liquid. They must also have fine capillaries or fine tubes that allow the liquid to be drawn into the material. And finally, they must have low moisture absorption. You don't want the water to actually soak into the fiber. You want the water to be pulled along the surface of the fiber and dissipated over a large area. How do typical materials perform against these requirements? Well, cotton, as we all know, is a very absorbent material. As such, it soaks up the liquid and actually is quite slow in terms of drying. It takes a long time to get your back out of cotton once it's absorbed it. And when it's in contact with your skin, it feels wet and damp for a long period of time. Synthetic fibers don't absorb like cotton, but are not inherently water-loving. Most of them are made out of oil type of materials to start with, and so they much prefer oil than water. However, synthetic fibers can be treated with soil release chemistry that allows them to be water loving. And water loves now to move along their surfaces. And these new soil release moisture management treatments are also quite laundry durable. Well, when it comes to moisture wicking science in linens, what's best and why? Well, fabrics made with microdenier synthetic fibers that have hydrophilic chemistry applied to surfaces is an excellent approach to achieve moisture wicking. However, the best approach is to actually use a two-layered fabric that uses both microdenier synthetic fibers on one surface to attract and wick the moisture and has cotton on the other side of the material to give that moisture somewhere to go where it won't stay in contact with the patient's skin. Wick A'Way is a patented fabric that is one fabric with two distinct layers. The top layer comes in contact with the patient or the individual user. That top layer is made of a microfiber polyester material that will wick moisture away from the individual skin when it comes in contact with the Wick A'Way material. Then there is a lower absorbent layer that is also a part of the Wick A'Way fabric that gives that moisture some go. When moisture comes in contact with the surface of Wick A'Way, it is drawn through the upper surface, upper layer that is made of microfiber polyester, and is drawn down into the material where it is absorbed and dispersed in a lower layer that's made of cotton. By wicking the moisture away from the surface, this allows the fabric to remain in contact with the patient, but for the material to feel almost instantaneously dry when moisture is wicked away from the patient's skin and into the linens. Scientists at the American Association for Textile Chemists and Colorists have developed a test method called Method 195 that is designed to measure the moisture handling properties of performance fabrics like Wick A'Way. This test method measures the transfer of liquid from the upper surface to the lower surface, and it has been correlated in scientific studies with the fabric's ability to eliminate a damp and clammy feel. In other words, how comfortable and dry does the surface of the fabric feel after it has absorbed liquid? Based on the AATCC test method 195, Wick A'Way provides 2 times better one-way moisture transport and 30% better overall moisture management performance than traditional bed linens, and it is classified as a moisture management fabric by the AATCC.